We are at Speedway today, and as you can kind of see, the pits are jam-packed here. So a lot of people came out for the season opener. It's a draw race, so everyone has, I guess, an equal shot at it, or you leave it in the draw hands. So the guys are at the drivers meeting. Jen is getting the hood on Big Walt's car. We have the crate cars here tonight. Little Walt is in the 77, the SK Bean owns 77, and Big Walt is in the Little Walt owned 88. So we'll have a good night here, and we'll see how it goes. Looking good in your new suit.
Yeah. Other than it's all dirty already.
That's okay. We wash it.
Yeah, Swagger Factory Apparel did a way better job than K1. Much customer service, above and beyond. You know, this is a small business, so if you're in New York or need a suit, Swagger Factory Apparel on Facebook, get a hold of Mike. Price is super reasonable too. Yeah, got a new suit. Suit's name on the front. We gave it on the back. So hopefully we have a good night. It's night 2.
How did hot laps go?
Not bad. I think the car's a lot better than what we started with last week. We'll see. You know, track had grip in it, so you can feel like a hero. But I don't know. We'll see. It's a draw race, so if we get a good qualifying spot, we'll go from there. I don't think any of us are running on a whole lot of sleep, so we'll have the most fun we can.
Walt's friend Ryan is racing today too, so he's coming over. They're going to talk about the hot setup. Hello. What'd you think of your car in hot laps, Big Walt? Especially after driving a small block last night at Albany.
Last night and then today, definitely drastic difference. The track was kind of streaky where there was grip and slick, so we're not going to change anything. We'll qualify and go from there. So, but yeah, definitely a drastic change in attitude of the way things are. So, but we'll go out and have some fun. It's a great car count. It's a good day for racing. So we'll get some more laps, see what we can do.
All right, so Big Walt is in heat number 2, and he's starting 8th. And Little Walt is in heat 3, and he's starting 4th. So we'll see what they can do with that. Top 5 qualify. non-stop since we got here, it seems like. So you guys just qualified in the consi.
Yeah.
Tell us about your day so far.
Well, it's been a little bit hectic. The Devil's Bowl is always hectic, especially with 2 cars. So we went up for hot laps, didn't get a feel on the track because it was gripped up, and we knew that wasn't going to be the case. So I think Dad started 8th in his heat race and finished 6th. The car was not good. I started 6th in my heat, or 4th in my heat race and finished 6th, so that was even worse. Not happy about that. So cars were set up pretty close to identical, so we made wholesale changes. We were experimenting with something, and it really didn't work. And sometimes that's the tough thing about dirt racing, is you have to experiment on the fly and trying to qualify and do all that. So that's what we're here for, though. You know, we're not running for points or running full time. So we made some more adjustments. I went back to my notes from like last year, and we started 2nd and 3rd in the consi and finished 2nd and 3rd. I think it was Justin Stone won. Dad was 2nd, I was 3rd, and it sounded like we left the rest of the field by about a straightaway or more. So yeah, we're gonna see what we got now. We're starting deep. I think he starts 22nd, I start 23rd. So we'll go from there. Anything else? No.
You had a rough heat race.
Yeah, he got turned around on purpose by a kid that drives in over his head most of the time. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, so
It happens.
It happens. Some guys get a little too excited sometimes. It's the first race of the year, and they want to win it in the heat race, so they get educated.
We all make mistakes.
Sometimes.
And thank you, Devil's Bowl Speedway fans. Oh man, what a driver Matt Bilodeau was. He was a guy that came to Devil's Bowl Speedway with no experience, and he started winning immediately. And he won a lot in that limited sportsman division. In fact, he won the last race he ever ran back in 2020. 1, 2, and 3, they finished in the points in the limited sportsman with Johnny Bruno, Matt Bilodeau, and Anthony Warren. And 1, 2, and 3, they were going to move up to the rookie level in the Sportsman Modified division. We never got to see that battle happen, but absolutely was going to lead this racetrack into the future as one of the young up-and-coming drivers. And we miss Matty all the time, and this 32-lap race is absolutely for him, for the Bilodeau family, for the Quinville family, and for you race fans. So we'll take a moment of silence and remember Matt Bilodeau, our friend.
So the guys are starting deep. Hopefully they can keep it green and clean and we'll have a good ride.
I got no fire.
You got a spare cap, Wall?
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Sure?
Yeah, don't worry about it. I tried and tried, it's got nothing. If it's unplugged or something, but
looks like it's all hooked here.
yeah, it's got to be in the distributor. It just quit. And then they were pushing me, I got nothing. Zero. Not even a hint of trying to fire.
Try it right now. Just
it is Sunday morning. We did not do the recap at the track or when we got home because we were beat from 2 days of straight racing.
Yeah.
So how did your crate race at Devil's Bowl go yesterday?
It's a long day. I think there was 35 or 36 cars. It was a draw race, so Mom drew, I think, 28 for me, 52 for Dad. 28 was not a good number for me because I went backwards in the heat race. Dad gained a couple spots. We actually didn't qualify through the heat races, which is probably the first time that I think both of us have been in a consi in quite some time, especially for like a regular show. Vermont 200 is normal. So we both had to run the consi. The cars were not good in the heat races. We tried some stuff just because we're not running for points. We're not running full time, and I had some stuff I wanted to try. So we tried it on both cars, which I was reluctant to do, but we did anyways, and we confirmed that it didn't work on both cars. So I went back to the notebook from what we had last year and put the stuff back in, and both cars came back to life, and handled pretty good. I think the top three of us in the consi ran away by a fair margin. So yeah, and then it's a great race,
Yeah. Qualifying with the crate cars too is the qualifying with the crate cars. Lots of times when you draw or any draw race, sometimes you obviously you want to drive your way into the race, but sometimes you just got to try and advance yourself enough to get you a better spot in the consi. Like if you're starting deep, like you want to either taking 5. I got to 6. I started 8th. Same thing with him. Set yourself up. Just a pointer. Try and just set yourself up for when you go to the consi that you got your best spot you can get there. I mean, sometimes the mindset is always I want to get in immediately, but crate racing sometimes that can be difficult. So you just want to try and get as much as you can, and that's kind of what I know. That's what I did. I raced the hell out of it. It was kind of eventful. I got spun out, and had to literally start at the back. Got myself back up to 6. Didn't panic and then go out and put it in the show. But like Walt said, it's a crate race, so there's not usually passing could be at a premium at different times. So
So then feature time we rolled around and thought everything was good, and then his car wouldn't run. The MSD ignition box that we talked about not that long ago failed with no warning.
Just sitting in the lineup, waiting to go. Car's running perfectly fine, and all of a sudden, nothing. And I thought, that sounds like ignition, because you can tell when something just quits, or if it's a fuel thing, you can kind of tell. And I'm like, so tried to start it again, no fire. And I said, well, maybe there's an outside chance. I flooded it, checked the fuel shut off, all that stuff. He actually gave me a shove, see if it would jump. It didn't, so the wrecker picked me up. And we had no fire, not even a hint. So I'm like, it's got to be in the ignition, the module, and the HEIs. If you guys running the crate motors, it's all stock stuff. If it's made on a Friday, it might only last for 5 minutes. Who knows?
Yeah.
And so my first thought was maybe module problem. And so I said, well, my race is over because we ain't going to have time to fix that. So we come rolling back in, and Ryan Christian happened to be up. And unfortunately didn't make the race, and he was in our pit stall there, and him and Dylan Rock jumped on the hood, took it off, and said, what do you think? I said, got no fire. And Ryan reached in just by happenstance and snapped the plug out of the ignition box, the rev box, and the thing fired and run. And so we were technically illegal because we ran no rev box. Don't tell anybody, but it was pretty good chance you weren't going to over rev anything with the surface we were on, with the slip surface. So no worries there. So again, another pointer. If for some reason your rig doesn't run, check that box, because that one wasn't that old and it just died. So we'll put another one on.
I think that's the first one, honestly, that we've had.
Yeah, they've been they're pretty bulletproof, but more and more we're finding stuff in racing and just in our regular world that just because it's new doesn't mean it's going to work, because getting stuff manufactured,
it doesn't necessarily even mean that it's better than something that's old.
Yeah, exactly. Old, so...
it was probably made in China.
But now thinking about it, on the way home, I was thinking about it in practice. I came in and it acted wonky, and I checked it to see that it was set correctly to the right RPM. and then I went back out qualifying, and in the consi, it chipped the way it was supposed to. At 6,000, it was hitting the chip, shutting the motor down and stuff like that, and everything worked fine, and then it just died. So, I mean, what else do? You take a chance. We got lucky last night and found it immediately. Ryan did, just start unplugging stuff, and so we got to race, but I got to go to 31st.
Yeah,
to start
31st to 20th.
So yeah, we passed a few cars. It was okay. Stayed out of trouble and brought home one piece. You did a bunch of passing.
Yeah,
a bunch of passing.
Yeah, honestly, after the consi and stuff, I was like, well, this car's all right. I wasn't super confident. I just kind of, we'll run the lap, see where we can get, especially starting that deep. Actually, I had 3 brand new tires to put on, and I only put on 1. And was like, well, we'll see what we can get. There's no need in burning tires off starting this deep. And lo and behold, I started 23rd and drove to 6th.
Yeah, so it was a good ride.
The car was surprisingly, it drove like the car that you were driving. I was instantly comfortable with the changes I made and tightened it up enough, and it went really well. I was super impressed and actually super surprised, especially after how it was driven throughout the day. Because usually, if you show up to the track and you're off in left field, it's a miracle if you get it back dialed in. So I guess I had one of those miracles happen. It happens once every 10 years, it seems like.
Well, I think if you just keep working, you know what I mean? You keep working and having good notes. I mean, like being able to switch and flip the notebook open and say, okay,
we got 3 3-inch binders worth of notes.
We know that this works over here in the past. This is going to get you pretty close to where you need to be.
Yeah.
And that's basically what you did, and then took it a little bit further, and you put a new right rear tire on. And in hindsight, I think that hurt me a little bit. I think tires I was on were not super great. Yeah. They'd been beat up that day. So
the worst part was we couldn't even get tires because Chris at Elmo's had we ordered another couple of right rears and we're supposed to pick them up at Albany, Saratoga. And when I went over to get them, Old Dominion
the freight never showed
up. So if you work for Old Dominion, do better. We get our tires. Come on. So Chris wasn't happy, and there was a lot of guys that weren't happy because he deals with over 200 race cars, and it's really not his fault.
No, it's nothing.
You get your freight company, and I guess the dude on Friday said, "Well, F it, I'm leaving at lunch."
Somebody called in sick, or who knows.
So yeah, there was a lot of not happy race car drivers because they wanted new rubber. He had 400 compound tires, but those are a little too hard. So yeah, it was one of those deals we made do with what we had. But yeah, it was a great race. It was slippery at Devil's Bowl. We expected it to be slippery. Where they moved the tires down, it was a little bit choppy down in one, so they gave it some bite. But I was able to pass cars. I know there's a lot of guys that struggled to pass, so I take it, and we have a pretty good balance in the 77, and feel like we have a good balance in the car that he's driving, the one that I raced last year. Just had some crap luck. I felt like if he would have started in the same position, he was supposed to start in front of me, then I think he would have advanced up into the top 10, no doubt. Just maneuverability-wise. When I was behind him in the consi, it was funny. There was a couple times I just watched. I'm like, how's the car handling? I was watching him to see how that car was handling while I was behind him, kind of computing mine as well, and it looked like it was going pretty good. So
yeah, it drove good.
That's how we knew that we were back on track. So yeah. I don't know what our plan is next. Hopefully it'll be putting a power plant in the 77 here coming up. We don't have a small block race coming up, I don't believe, for a few weeks unless something comes up. I don't know.
Unless we get really itchy.
Yeah. So we'll keep everybody posted on what our plans are, coming up in the next couple weeks to go race. And it might be just a sporadic, hey, we're going here. Sometimes those are the funnest races to go to. Anything we'll do would probably be like a draw race or time trial race. So
biggest thing is to square this other car away, get it so all the cars are up and running the way they need to be. So that we can do that. So we got a little bit of maintenance we can do on the trailer, stuff like that. But overall, pretty good weekend for the first weekend out.
Yeah,
we raced 3 cars and they all came home in one piece.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Minimal stuff to do maintenance wise, and we can.
Really gained over 30 spots.
Yeah, we
technically, right?
Passed over 30 cars this week. So.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. It's a good solid start, a great solid start. I was super happy with the small block stuff. Yeah. We were really solid and made changes to that and made it work. And but it was good to see all the fans, both places, Albany, Saratoga, and Devil's Bowl Speedway. Huge crowds, great car counts, lots of excitement.
Yeah,
racing's back in the Northeast. It's time to go and. hopefully the rain stays away and we can see you at a track coming up. We had some little guys come up to the fence, and we appreciate that wanted some pictures and some autographs, and that was cool. And if anybody else that's out there, if you don't get to see us and you want a picture or something, just shoot Heather a message or whatever, and we'll gladly sign them and send them to you. Or if we can, we'll get our attention. We'll try and say hi. Yesterday I felt bad because it was a little bit busy, and we were getting ready to go out for the consi, and so we weren't able to go over right then. And normally we try to, but I'm sure for our younger fans or even our older fans, don't be afraid to come, rattle our cage or something and say hi, because we'll find time for you. We'll find time.
Yeah, absolutely. So as always, thanks for watching. Gotta thank the sponsors. Gotta thank Stu and Kathy, obviously, for my ride, and WH Building and Design, K. Nicky Janitorials on the crate cars, CJ Auto Body, Mirror Lake Automotive, Akabe, yeah, can't forget Chris.
Yeah.
ADW Builders. And I think that's about it. All the girls and Dylan for helping.
Yeah. Yesterday we had two. Kayla unfortunately was sick this weekend, so Dylan showed up and helped us out, and we had Heather and Jen. They did a great job doing lots of stuff they normally don't do, but man, they stepped up, and you know what? It makes it good, because we look around and there are teams that got 10 guys working on one car, and we had 4 people on 2.
Yeah. And did just fine.
And did fine. Got it done. So you can do it, man. You can do it. You just got to want to work. Yeah. The key word is work.
A lot of that work's done right in the shop. If you're prepared in the shop, it makes working at the track a lot easier. I mean, I was setting up the crate cars because we were a little bit behind. I was setting his shocks and springs up at Albany because we were a little bit behind, and I had some time. So we did that, and it makes things work smoother. Honestly, I kind of look at it as a success, because we were turned around in less than 24 hours and headed back to Devil's Bowl.
Yeah, in racing, definitely your time management is huge.
Yeah.
In racing, in business, and in racing. And so being able to manage time, again, we prove it week in and week out that you can do it, but you just have to manage time and expectations. So if you want to go racing and you want to be in the racing business, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it. So we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, thanks for watching.